first of all, congratulations on your first anniversary. It's an honor for us to be part of your anniversary here in London. And 2 years ago, we're going to talk about what brought me here to London 3 years ago. But once I was here in London, I realized, and after asking to a number of people whether there was a Mexican Chamber of Commerce, I found out that there was none. Many times people had thought about the idea of opening a Chamber of Commerce, but none of those ideas or concepts became a reality. So I decided that at least I will try. And now we're celebrating our second anniversary of the Mexican Chamber of Commerce here in Great Britain. We're very proud to have been the first Mexican Chamber of Commerce to have been formed in Europe. It has been a fantastic and huge effort because what we're doing is breaking ground in terms of, gathering interests of Mexicans that are here in London, trying to organize better the Mexican diaspora, of Mexican entrepreneurs, of Mexican businesses, tremendous and talented people that are, for various reasons, living here in London, in the UK, and working very hard. So the idea is to make it easier for new Mexicans that want to open a business, develop themselves here in the Great Britain, and be successful. So what we're doing is basically, as a chamber, share our stories, share how difficult it was to open a bank account, trying to develop a relationship with banks, with the institutions, players within the London market to make it easier. And we're very happy. We have plenty of events talking about Mexico. As Mexicans, we all love to talk about how great Mexico is and how wonderful Mexicans are. So we're doing also that. We all have some links with Mexico, and we're trying to continue developing those links. So we have 8 patrons, which are the main supporters of the chamber and for which we're extremely grateful. We have Fresnillo, which is the only Mexican company listed here in the London Stock Exchange. Cemex, which is a massive company, the most international Mexican company, and we love to see a Cemex truck going around in London all the time. We have HSBC, Royal Bank of Canada, Diageo, DAC Pitchcroft, which is the only UK law firm to have, the first UK law firm to have an office in Mexico, to open an office in Mexico. And we have Diageo and Nader Hayaux y Gebel, which is my law firm, which is the first and only Mexican law firm to have opened an office here in London.
Okay, we'll talk about your firm in a few minutes, but tell me about some cases you have had in these 2 years about young entrepreneurs. Are there any, how's the entrepreneurs in the Mexican entrepreneurs in London? Have you contact with them or something?
Yes, it is certainly an area in which the chamber needs to do a lot of work. I mentioned our patrons, which is basically the heart and soul of the chamber and the ones that guide the destinies of the chamber. But we have over 50 members right now, small companies, medium-sized companies, and entrepreneurs that have their own businesses here. Food and beverage is very strong, and you have a number of examples of Mexican talented entrepreneurs that are starting to open Mexican restaurants in London successfully. Some that have been doing that for many, many years. We have Roberto and Marisol with Mestizo, which is a long-standing scene, one of the iconic Mexican restaurants in London. And we have the new ones. We have Rafael that opened La Lupita. It was part of his dissertation to obtain his MBA not long ago. He found resources and funding, and then now he has two restaurants operating, and hopefully there will be more of those. So those are two examples in food and drinks. In the technology, digital media, digital creative industry sector, there's a number of examples. Many Mexicans, talented Mexicans, and they are working with the UK or Indian or Chinese or other people in London. No? One of the things that makes London wonderful is the possibility to work with people from everywhere. So it's not. What is important is not necessarily what happens in London, but what happens through London to the world. It's really a fantastic financial center, so it's the ideal place to meet, to have capital and resources, meet ideas and innovation. So I think Mexico has a lot to do with this. The relationship between Mexico and the UK is fantastic. Probably in the last 40 years, the relationship has not been so strong, so dynamic, and so much interest in both sides to make this work is just fantastic. So capital meeting ideas. One thing one way I try to explain how I think the UK and Mexico can work together is Mexico has a lot of talent and a lot of creativity in the pure sense, and the UK has the technology and the innovation. And if you combine those four factors, and that's what the chamber needs to be helping do through all the professionals doing this, I think we can create wonderful things to make the world a better world and to innovate and create a new future. Now, also we have the financial industries and the service sectors. So we have London has lawyers, accountants, banks, asset managers, insurance companies, all kind of service providers. The city, what is really called the city here, to service the world. And we are working very hard to see how we can link better the world with Mexico through London, how we can get the Middle East, the Indians, the Russians, the Chinese to invest more in Mexico, the Saudis certainly, to invest more in Mexico through London. There's so much work to be done because despite all the efforts, Mexico is not really very well known. People do not have sufficient information about Mexico, so there's lots of work to be done. There's not sufficient Mexicans outside Mexico and in London, so we need to make sure that through the chamber we organize ourselves, we learn to work as a team, which is quite a challenge, and we need to learn from those kids that today beat Argentina 3-0, and we need to keep that spirit of collaboration and working together, see how we can develop all these opportunities and make a lot of business together.
Okay, thank you. That's very interesting. And Maru, tell us about the events, past and present, or future events that you are having as a chamber.
Well, the next event, which is our biggest event of the year, is our gala dinner, and it's going to be on the 25th of November. It's going to be a very special event because the president, Peña Nieto, just designated the new ambassador, the Mexican ambassador to the UK. So he's going to be present in the event, and it's going to be like the welcoming of the ambassador to the business people in London or in the UK, or we even have some people that are coming over from Europe. So it's going to be a huge event. We're also having a silent auction. One of our members is a curator, and she represents a Mexican artist that is called Carimayo. She has won several prizes in Europe and in the United States. So we're going to auction some of her pieces, and we're looking forward to the event. And then during the rest of the year we have events that are focused on the sectors that our members belong to, such as digital. So in May we had an event called TechMex, and it was to promote the digital sector in Mexico and to find investors, people that would like to invest in Mexican projects. We recently had an event called LexMex, which was we talked about the legal sector in Mexico and how some of the law firms talked about their experience in Mexico, how the system worked, etc. It was organizing the event. He was really involved with it because he's a lawyer. And then we're having an event next term that is going to be FinMex, which is going to be about finance, and we're going to talk about the outlook of Mexico after 1 year of the administration, of the new administration, right? So, yeah.
There's a lot of work to do.
Yeah, we're also very involved with the cultural sector, and we like promoting cinema and whatever kind of arts we find. So we're also very involved with the Rain Dance Film Festival, which was a success in September.
Okay.
And we're starting a cine club with Lupita, the Mexican restaurant, which is also a member.
Okay.
And on the 10th of November, this Sunday, we are screening a movie called Lost Generation, and it's from Joel Juarez, a director that came to the Rain Dance, and it's going to be to all the money that we raise is going to go to Acapulco.
Well, that's very interesting.
Yeah, yeah, and Lupita is going to give all the money to Acapulco. Yeah.